Good afternoon, everyone. It's 12:30 p.m. and the moon just went new in the sign of Leo. I've been literally waiting to do this video. There's so much kind of that wants to come through that I want to speak into this channel. But with new moons, always I wait until the moon goes exactly new, or anytime after, to do any kind of new moon updates, because when we're in the moments before a new moon, we're actually in the previous full moon waning cycle. And that is a very, very different energy than when the moon turns new. And so for me personally, I don't typically attune to the new moon until it's officially new, which just happened. So we're fresh in Leo new moon. Now there's absolutely so much going on cosmically, and I'm going to speak to a few of them without using too much astrology jargon to make them really easily digestible. So let's start with kind of like the general energy of summer, late summer, from now into late summer into fall. The rest of 2025 is, how do I put this? Astrologically potent. There's a lot of shifts happening with the big outer planets. Many of them have already shifted. Some are shifting, others are going retrograde. And we actually have quite a few planets in retrograde right now, which speaks to the energy of the moment. What does that mean when a planet goes retrograde? It's basically retreat, it's slowed down, it's actually moving backwards in the sky. And always, like, the reason why we track the planets is so that we kind of know how to move ourselves, as we are products of the imprint of the planets on our energetic system, right? So at the moment that we're born, we pick that exact moment to have that energetic imprint upon us, and the inner planets create our persona, the vibration of our persona, so that it can express through us. And the outer planets are outer experiences kind of affecting us. And so when we have a lot of outer planets changing signs and moving retrograde, like we do in this latter part of 2025, I might have said 2026 earlier, which is funny. Then what we have is like a lot of shifts happening in the world and the energy around us. And that in itself is a huge message, when we can't control the world outside of us, of course. And so that when there's a lot going down, we really want to kind of like slow down and find our center and just take things really slow. And so knowing that this is the year of the shift, having a lot of really big shifts happen in my personal life, outside of myself, right? And also knowing the astrology of this year, my whole mantra, especially from the spring onward and getting more intense now in the summer, is like, I'm just going slow with everything. I'm taking everything slow. Decisions, very slow. Work, slow. Life, slow. The reason why is because going slow helps you constantly be able to navigate what's going on around you. It allows you to be more mindful, more dropped into your body, and calibrate what's going on and how you need to move forward in the world with presence and this knowing, right? Like, this is why we study, this is why we bring in knowledge, this is why we say, like, track the astrological cycles as an example, is so that when the moment comes that we need to find presence, we're a resource to lean into our tools. The goal of the tools, all of them, is to get us inside of ourselves, centered in our, like anchored in our source point, and hold that point, be like the eye in the middle of the storm when life is happening around us. So my kind of mantra of going slow is for this reason, so that it's easier for me when something big happens, or when I feel shifts, or there's collective energy happening that's overwhelming, to be able to kind of stop and center very mindfully and very easily. Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on out there that I see sometimes, and especially right now, where there's this like kickback to the whole, you know, softness, slow yin, kind of like learning to relax and rest. And I, it's a tough one because if you haven't fully learned to really enjoy and find peace and comfort on that lateral plane, meaning like, I talked a lot in the last video. This is the solar plane of energy and like urgency and moving forward and working, right? And action and ambition. And then there's the horizontal plane, and that place exists here. And we're all kind of walking through the world running both of those energies. And a lot of us are polarized to that active vertical plane. And so there's been a lot of taking back the horizontal plane, which is the yin, which is the feminine, right? And at any time when I'm saying go slow, like learn to rest before taking action, people can get confused. It doesn't mean that we don't still work, that we don't still do what we need to do. I mean, we're living in this physical world. There's tangible, real world things that we need and should want to and enjoy doing, right? But the idea is to strike a real balance between action and relaxation. I'm not sure if that's quite the right word. Action, impulse, and like rest and recovery. And to always be checking yourself, like, where am I at on that barometer, right? I might be in an era of feeling very oriented towards action and having the energy to do so. Well, my energy is here. I, want to keep pushing and going because I have the energy. And it's just important to do that constant check-in with yourself. Okay, well, is my energy moving in the right direction then? Is this energy that wants to be more productive at work, or energy that actually wants to be put into a new creative endeavor or into play and joy and a sporting activity? So just constantly checking in to your inner barometer. And if you have this impulse, like I tend to be more on the vertical scale. And so my impulse, my pathways would be to just continue running those pathways. And so for me, I know that my body sends me signals. Like I'll get this kind of like anxious feeling, this pressure in my solar plexus when I've been on my phone too long, like I work a lot on my phone or sitting in front of a screen too long, or even like ruminating on work too long. And I go, okay, thank you, body. I'm hearing you say like, take a break. And then that's when I go to the horizontal and I let go and I breathe, right? That inhale, that holding, and that inner stillness. So the idea is to like let yourself swing on this pendulum, but always be checking in with yourself. The answer is always going in, feeling how your body's feeling, what your body's telling you, and then taking 2 steps forward, and then taking a step back, checking in, and then moving forward or course correcting. Okay. So with the summer solstice energy of June, we had this real interesting dynamic about where it was like very full sun, full vertical plane energy. And then the shift into the fall, which is that Cancer energy of rest and relaxation. So now we've shifted back into Leo season, which is again that masculine, like pillar upright energy. Yet what we see in the sky is we have all of these planets are in retrograde, and they're kind of simultaneously pulling us into going slow, even though we have this impulse. So something that's coming up a lot right now in sessions is this feeling of urgency, right? Like there's this real feeling of like, no, I gotta work, I gotta do this, that there's things I want to close out, even when it comes to your like healing and your letting go or whatever you've been working on healing for the past little while. It's like, I'm ready to let go. There's urgency in the field. And we have to sit back and remember, like, our bodies are antennas, right? We are feeling and sensing everyone's energy around us, even the pets in the home. Homes themselves can have energy. Geographic ley lines, where we live has a different energy than where we take trips or vacation or go back to visit family. Um, Planets obviously are affecting us massively. This planet is affecting us. The sun is affecting us. This is all in our field unseen. And something again that a lot of people get caught up on in is feeling all of these feelings and associating them with this sense of like, oh, there must be something I need to do. There must be something I need to work on, or I don't feel stable. I feel anxious. I feel agitated. So there must be something in me to fix or to work on or to let go of. Again, that's where whenever anything like that arises, you like snap into this awareness and you take a step back. Like I'm a huge proponent. I talk a lot in my like courses and teachings and groups about the step back method, as I call it. We're in the motions, we're in first person mode going through life, and we're feeling our body and we're associating it with like it's all me, right? And then when you have this awareness of, oh, I'm overwhelmed, or, oh, there's something I need to become aware of, you step back. So it's not that you jump out of the body. It's almost like you sink into a deeper spot in the body. This is described really, really well in Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, where he describes, like inside your mind, you're sitting on, I think this is Michael Singer, either that or it's my kind of third eye clairvoyant interpretation of Michael Singer's kind of chapter on this. But in your mind, there's you looking out through your eyes, perceiving the world, feeling your body, and just feeling like everything's me. And that's where things start to get really hectic because the mind is running that version of your reality. And so all of these thoughts and fears and beliefs and what ifs and questions are popping up in your field, adding even more confusion to what's going on. When you become aware of that, then you sit back and then you become the observer and you're sitting in a chair. I like to picture like a nice, comfy, lazy boy chair in the very back of my mind. And then I'm observing what I'm observing. And it allows me to step back. And at that place, like instantly, even when you're watching this, you might just be like, oh, it's this like permission to be like, oh yeah, I am out here. I am just running my frantic energy out here. And even just that permission to step back, because that is a much calmer place to exist from, is like this deep breath of like, right, okay, I'm here now. Whew. And then you can start to remember that everything that you're feeling, a lot of the things that are going on in a planetary sense, with your partner that you live with war and news and media, again, everything that I mentioned outside of you is in your field and you're picking up on it. You're even picking up on what the collective is feeling, right? And this is something I ask people all the time who I know have a very sensitive kind of like aura to collective energies. If you're a Pisces, for example, or an Aquarius, you would definitely have this kind of ability to pick up what's going on in the collective. But they forget to step back and remember, oh yeah, that's a gift of mine, is to feel what everyone's feeling on like a massive scale. And it's not me. So now I can place it as outside of myself. I don't have to take on the feelings in my body, the urgency, but my body is giving me a hit, right? It's giving me a clue that there's a lot going on out there. This is the exact same thing that I do in sessions with people, right? I'm intentionally tuned into everything you're feeling and thinking, and I give my body and all of my senses permission to give me information about you. And that might feel like, oh, I have kidney pain, and like feeling a lot of pain in my kidney. Well, of course they've got kidney stones, or I have a lot of anxiety, it's hard to take a deep breath, and that's their symptoms, not mine. And as soon as I get the information, I go, thank you, out of my body. And then I'm back to my like homeostasis mode. I'm teaching you this, I'm telling you this, I'm giving you this activation so that you can use this as a tool going forward. If you're here, if you're listening, you're definitely a sensitive, and we all pick up energies in different ways. And right now there's so much going on outside of us. Like the earth herself is shifting into a new frequency. the sun is helping with flares. There's energy coming from the earth rising, and like even volcanoes and earthquakes, floods, all of that affects us, right? So remember that 99% of everything you feel isn't you. There's another big awareness that's, like when I teach people that and I tell people 99% of what you're feeling isn't you. It's like, wait, what? My whole life I've been feeling that much because I feel a lot in my body, right? Yeah, you're picking up everyone and everything outside of you. So when you take that step back and you realize, oh, that's not me, that's affecting me, then it gives you permission to like whoosh, wash your own energy field and really clear it out. Okay. That's the first thing is like, right, like, whew, let me get that all off of me. Showers help, swimming in the lake helps, having a bath with Epsom salt helps, all of these things just to clear yourself. Even like if you have a little spray, you can just, I love to use a spray and just kind of mist my field and feel it fall. And it feels like this kind of energetic cleansing. Okay. So you step back, you remember it's not me, and then you feel into your body and you go, okay, but I'm here and I want to get this kind of gauge. We're always trying to reset to this barometer of like being in that center point, right? And then you can just use your inner voice, your intuition to tune into like, actually, I've accomplished a lot. I've worked a lot. I'm good. I need to rest. Now I'm a little unbalanced in the rest. I need to give myself permission to shut down and shut off. Or I've been waiting a lot. Like I have this feeling of I can't get started and it's never the right time. And I have a lot of energy, which is causing me this anxious impulse to act, but I'm never acting. I'm always pulling myself back, waiting for the right time. And when you know that's to be true, then you allow yourself to take that's like aligned conscious action, right? And so that's kind of the way that you want to be stepping forward right now and going really slow, knowing that there's so much going on. It's so easy to be triggered. And with all of our old pathways that we're also at this time trying to make new, it's so easy to be hooked or pulled into those old pathways. And it's just exhausting going through the world, being constantly affected, right? There's chaos all around. And I'm right back in those old patterns and ways of being. So give yourself permission just to come to center and take a step back, take a deep breath, clear it out and go, okay, I'm moving slowly. Alicia says there's a lot going on in the world and this continues all the way into the winter. So slow is your best bet to navigate all of the shifts of this year. And there's a lot of shifts in this year starting now. Well, they've already started, but the rest of the year is just very potent with astrological shifts. And let's talk about two really big ones that are happening right now. So we have Saturn is retrograde in Aries right now. And then we also have Mercury retrograde in Leo. The Saturn transit is a longer one. It goes all the way until September. So basically, again, when a planet turns retrograde, it's usually moving this way in the sky, and then it stops and it hovers for a while, and then retrograde means it starts to move backwards. So basically, like as a planet's moving forward at all of these degrees of the zodiac, it's moving across different parts of our persona. The zodiac wheel, our birthright, it's just our persona basically separated into different archetypes, but it's all parts of you, right? And so Saturn, the planet of duty and responsibility, the keeper of space and time, and this like 3D structure we're living in, it's just slowly moving across, doing like a little overhaul or a touch in with all of your points. And then it stops and it goes backwards and it's like, actually, this needs a little bit more. And so when it's moving backwards, it really pulls our attention because it's not the way that we're used to it moving, right? And it becomes even slower. It's a backwards motion. So then it moves backwards. Saturn's going to be moving backwards in Aries until September 25th, I believe, around September. And then it crosses the Aries point and it goes into Pisces, which is the sign before Aries in the zodiac wheel, and it's still moving backwards. and then it will stop eventually around the spring, and then it will start moving forward again. So everything that's this part of your life that Saturn has already moved across, right? It's going to stop. It's going to go backwards and say, you better take another look at all of this. And then it's going to move forward starting in the spring. So as we look at the theme of Saturn, it's duty, responsibility, it's obligation, it's Saturn is the planet of limitation, and it says what you want so badly, the liberation that you crave so much in your heart. Saturn is going like this to you, saying, no, you don't get it until you put in the work and until you really have earned it. And that's a good thing, because once we acquire our Saturn placement, it is such a strong, it's a part of us that no one can take away. And so we're kind of trying to break through this Saturn wall every different way, finding all the ways that don't work until eventually we've put in the effort and Saturn rewards us with this forward movement, saying, there you go. Now you've acquired this persona, this personality trait. It's like getting like I don't know, in a video game, it's like getting an extra superpower or something. Like now you have extra fast speed or something. So Saturn's moving backwards, so we're going to have a big overhaul of the Saturn themes in that area of your life. And also right now, Mercury is retrograde. This is an inner planet. Saturn is going to kind of shift and change and bring up karmic relationships, things outside of you, right? You'll have dates with destiny. You might communicate with people that you haven't communicated in a while, closing loose ends, forgiveness, letting go, tying off the knot, cauterizing the old wounds. That's kind of the theme of this Saturn retrograde. And then we also have Mercury in retrograde right now. So that's an inner planet retrograde. And the inner planets affect ourselves, our personality directly. So literally the inner planets, the ones that are closest to Earth, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Earth, and the Sun and Moon. Moon is technically a satellite. They create the imprint that becomes our avatar or personality. So when an inner planet goes retrograde, part of our personality is getting that kind of overhaul, right? So Mercury is mind, thought, communication. It's social acuity. It's the way that we move through that mental world, that kind of fourth dimension. People that are very strong in the air element or in Mercury, their Mercury placement, they're very socially acute. They can tune into people. They can feel into what people are they're good at anticipating needs and sensing and feeling what other people are maybe themselves thinking. And so they're able to tune into people. And for that reason, they're very like people pleasing type, and the shadow can be like masking, for example. So with Mercury, how we think, how we communicate, and how we move through that like social mental layer going retrograde, we're getting a slowdown in a certain area of our personality, and that personality area is Leo. It's retrograde in Leo, and Leo is that action oriented. It's ruled by the sun. Leo like moves forward with the heart, right? It's solar plexus, it's heart, and it's that time in your life and that part of you that should feel completely free and liberated to really follow your heart without fear of consequences, without holding yourself back, without dimming yourself, right? Leo is the king, the actor, the performer, the queen, the one who isn't afraid to stand up on that soapbox. So Mercury is cruising backwards through Leo right now, and it's doing this overhaul of how you show up in that archetype. And it's basically asking, and this is very new moon themed. So today is the new moon. And what you can do is you can kind of take the theme of Mercury retrograde and you can apply it to the new moon, because the retrograde is going to show you exactly over this period between July 19th, which is when it started moving retrograde, and August 11th. It's going to show you where you're not communicating from your heart, right? Like when we have our vision, our greatness, our channel comes down in through kind of our upper chakras, right? And runs through the whole system. What we want is to have that like wisdom come in and get grounded in the heart, in the body, and then come out through the throat chakra, right? And what happens when we haven't really embodied, or we don't feel confident or worthy or confident enough to embody our message, it doesn't get into the heart. It doesn't pick up the wisdom and that like nectar from the heart. Instead, you get this kind of loop where the mind is just sending it out the mouth, mind, mouth, mind, mouth. And that means that you're running certain fear paradigms, right? So the mind is only able to, it's not necessarily just fear, but the mind is a computer. It's a data processing unit. It's only able to speak to patterns that it's already seen or recognized in your life, right? So you're in a conversation, or say you're out for dinner with friends, and you're wanting to articulate yourself and share like who you are and what you're doing in your heart. It's like being performative and authentic in your own life, being your own fangirl in a way, right? But when we're stuck in what will they think of me, self-judgment or fear, or that person's better than I am, who am I to say anything, right? Like these types of themes, or I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever, then the mind takes things and it just only allows you to communicate out through this channel, right? And you can really feel when someone is in their heart and speaking from their heart. It lands like truth in your body. It's slower, it's more deliberate. It kind of drops you down with them, and you really go, oh, wow. It makes you feel something, as opposed to just kind of listening. This is really easy to identify in arguments. Like, is someone pausing, taking something in, letting their heart kind of discern and pick out the juiciness of it, the lessons, the questions, and then sending it back up in a thoughtful way? Or you just blah, 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 yeah, but blah, 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 blah. Don't ask me how I know. When I was a kid, my parents used to call me the yeah, but kid. So what you want to do is, again, this is part of slowing down, right? And when you're in these situations over this period, knowing that Mercury right now is really checking in on, are you opening that channel of confidence, solar plexus and heart, and expressing from that place, living from that place, communicating from that place. And this, of course, it's all divinely planned. It will go on to support you in what's coming next for you. That has a lot to do with Saturn in Aries. When Saturn goes direct in Aries in the spring, we're going to have this energy of like, hey, you've put a lot of work this winter through this retrograde period into, what do you want to do? Take action on where is your will driving you? Is it your divine will? Do you really want that thing? That's what Saturn retrograde is saying. Like, are you sure? Are you sure you're moving in the right direction? Because this is the time. This is the thing, right? And then we go back into Pisces, and then Saturn says, now double check where you've been for the past year or so in your spiritual work, in your attunement to your higher self, in your embodiment, in your connection to spirit, because that wants to come with you when Saturn goes direct in the spring and allows us to move forward on what we want to trailblaze, what we want to take action on in our life. So Mercury going retrograde right now also is helping us tune up our voice. It's helping us tune up our heart, our confidence, our will, our divine will, and making sure we're able to communicate that effectively, right? So like some really wonderful, I did a session with a woman who like teaches people how to use their voice. She teaches people how to speak and communicate and all of these things. And it was like, you open the channel completely, you anchor it so it's grounded, right? You're not just like running knowledge and spreading it, because that doesn't become esoteric soul based. That's not grounded in the body and the heart, right? It's just regurgitating. So you become the full channel, you ground it, you bring it up into your heart, and then you let that express through you. Okay. So your heart-based message that also comes up through the solar plexus, that confidence, is going to be needed as we move into the spring next year. 2026 is a real forward momentum year. We have a lot of beautiful planetary trines supporting us in moving into our next octave. The world is ready for your expression. The world is ready for your gifts and your work in the world to kind of graduate itself a little bit into, purpose and alignment, whatever that looks like for you. So this Mercury retrograde is working on opening that channel and working on your confidence. And yeah, it's hard, right? Like if you're hearing this and you're like, oh, I don't speak confidently about myself, and I am afraid to chime in or speak up, or I'm still a wallflower, right? And that's not fully expressed. And I do want to do something, but I don't know what I want to say, or I don't have that trust in life to just step into it, right? Like Leo is also a very abundant sign, a sign that trusts the universe. The sun is life force energy that is fully sustaining. And so Leo has that same sense of like confidence in the universe providing, so it can step forward. It's like the artist that never had to quit making art, even though the whole world said, oh, artists don't make any money. It's like, no, I know I'm going to be okay if I do this, right? So if you're sitting here now and you don't yet embody those things, that's okay. And it might be a feedback loop throughout now and August 11th of questioning yourself and feeling like, oh, why can't I, right? But again, that's when you have that moment of, oh, like contraction, self-judgment, whatever it is, you step back and you go, okay, no, I know why this is happening. It's because I am ready to express. I am ready to step into my confidence, into my more authentic expression, period. And then the hard work begins. And this is the leap of faith that's required of you if you're walking this path. If you're walking a path of like grounded embodiment, there's always a scary, terrifying moment where you have to take a leap of faith. And that's where you have to use your will to do the scary thing anyways, to put yourself out there, right? To step forward, even though you're feeling the scary feelings or the pain, to do it regardless. And then you learn to follow your heart. And whenever we move forward in a heart-based aligned decision, then it's like, pushing a boulder off a mountain. It starts moving faster and faster, and life starts working out for us. And all of a sudden opportunities are coming up, who knows where it will take you. So that's a really big kind of download for this new moon in Leo. It's a very similar theme, right? The new moon is always about making yourself new. It's coming across this specific area of your life where your Leo persona is meant to shine, and we want it to shine like the sun. We don't want to have anything dimming or blocking your light from shining. So it's a time to sit back and feel into what are the things that keep me limited. Where am I still not ready to fully stand on my soapbox or my stage and, like be a presence? And that's where you make your list of intentions, however this hits you personally, and you prepare yourself to step into those challenging moments of liberation. Really, that's what you're doing. You're just removing blocks from the perfect light bulb that is you. I tell people in soul chart readings, the moment you were born is your perfect vibration. So if you know your rising sign, like I'm 8 degrees of Pisces, and that's the moment my soul chose to come to get imprinted in my perfection. I describe it like a light bulb. You are a bright light bulb with no dust, like shiny, new, and perfect, fully illuminated at that moment. And then life starts happening and the clock starts ticking and we start to accumulate dust, right? And then that dust, even though our light hasn't dimmed, the dust starts to dim the light on the outside. So when we do this work to become aware, and astrology is so good for that, to become aware of where the dust has accumulated, we're just getting out a microfiber cloth and cleaning that dust off. And so when a Mercury retrograde happens during a new moon in Leo, right on the cusp of Lionsgate portal, well, we're in the portal right now, right? This time that Leo energy is such a strong pull on us and such a positive influence if we are to move in that direction, then we get these opportunities to really scrub off a lot of old grime. And don't be afraid if old shit comes up. Where people lose it is when they fall into judgment. Like I get a lot of us have been doing this kind of self-healing, self-help work for years intensely now. Some of us like lifetimes, it feels like. And you might feel like, oh, I'm feeling this again. Like, have I not learned anything? What's wrong with me? Why haven't I released this yet? No, the best thing to do when you judge yourself or when you feel low for not being where you think you should be is to go into gratitude right away. Like, whoa, okay. That's what I do when I act or when I see something in me that is like not who I feel like I really am. I go, okay, I'm glad I'm seeing this because it's showing me that I still have dust in that part of my light bulb, right? And I'm just here to remove all of the blocks that keep me from being my perfected self. And even though there's dust over on this side, guess what? This side is shining bright. It's not that when you feel the density, you're like a horrible person or you're regressing. And again, that's why these astrological transits can be really illuminating, because right now it's all that Leo energy that's getting highlighted so we can feel the grime, right? Why was I saying that? Maybe I need a sip of juice. It's not that I was just saying it illuminates so we can see the grime over there. And there's other areas in our light bulb that are shiny and clean. So you're not failing or falling when you feel into what's being illuminated right now. You're just particularly being triggered or noticing that area, right? It's like if you get stung by a wasp, and your back is sore and you have some nerve stuff going on. It's not that your whole body, like there's something going, oh no, maybe it's autoimmune or no, you're just like being stung over there. And so that part of you is really achy for the time being, but the rest of you is fine and you're going to be okay. And everything keeps moving, right? It's like breathe through it because we won't be here for long. And then it's going to be the next lesson. There was somewhere I wanted to go next. So let me just take a quick second here and then I might call it a day. Oh, I was going to say, this is why tracking the cycles of the planet like we do in the Cosmic Wisdom Circle is so beneficial, because you could be out there not knowing this is going on and really be feeling like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Or you pop on here and I tell you, or someone else tells you what's going on in the sky and you see it directly happening in a specific area of your life. And then that shows up in your chart. You're like, oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay. Things aren't falling apart. It's just, this is the time that, the universe wants me to look at this particular thing. All right, let's drop in. I feel called right now to do a guided meditation, which is something new. So let's take a few deep breaths. If you don't have time to do it now or you're not kind of in the energy, you can maybe pause this and come back to it later. I'm going to I'm going to share a guided meditation. If you've ever been in a reading with me, I do these intuitively as they come through me. I haven't made them up in advance, so I'm kind of surprised, just as surprised as you are with where we go. And it's always for the highest good of everyone that will watch this in the present moment. Time is quantum and it's all happening now. And by the way, that's the intention I set every time I hop on to do one of these. So yeah, let's just drop in together, get comfy in your seat, and we'll do this beautiful new moon guided journey that I'm being prompted to share. So just get comfortable in your seat. We'll drop into the breath here. So yeah, getting out all of your wiggles, closing your eyes, dropping the chin to the chest. This is humbling the mind to the heart, giving importance to the heart space, the seat of the soul over the mental. And then just dropping deep into your breath. So on the inhale, using the sensation of air coming in through your nostrils to guide your consciousness into your body. And as you breathe in, notice your chest rise. Again, inhaling, feeling that chest rise up. Few nice deep breaths here all the way down into your belly, making sure your belly expands as you inhale. And as it exhales, you're emptying your belly towards your spine. And inhaling and feeling that chest rise. Feeling into this feeling of being proud. Think of a lion's chest puffing up. That brave heart opening with every breath. Imagining a royal robe around your shoulders. Beautiful red velvet with white fur. With a beautiful golden clasp right in front of your heart. And as you inhale, your robe rises. Your head rises. And there's this beautiful golden sunlight bathing us right now. So I want you to bring your attention to your crown chakra and notice the literal crown, golden crown that's on your head as well. So really embodying this king or queen, this royal energy, and using that breath with every inhale to puff out your chest, building your confidence. As you inhale, you tune into your solar plexus chakra, the heart of the sun within you, gaining life force and energy with every inhale. This is working to attune your energy field to that beautiful Leo confidence. As it builds and grows in power, it starts to dissolve anything that's in your field that is a false belief. There's a trauma, fear around dimming your light, making you play small in your life, keeping your mouth closed, being a wallflower. As we inhale, we energize that solar plexus, just seeing it grow, looking like a sun inside of you, right below your heart. And then again, bringing your awareness back to that beautiful golden crown on your head as you see golden drops of solar energy and light rain down, almost like a liquid gold all around you, directly from the sun, which we thank for his service. And beyond the sun, the great central sun, streaming light and codes, and beyond that, the source itself. Becoming aware that right now, these solar codes, this divine light, this knowledge coming into your body, turning into wisdom in your cells, activating your DNA, acknowledging this is happening in real time. And all you need to do is sit and receive. Again, tuning back into that crown on your head. And we're going to fully open our crown chakra now. Opening the crown chakra fully to receive this potent solar light and these codes. And as it comes into your body, you can allow your awareness to travel down with it through your third eye, down through your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, running through your sacral, your root, and directly into the sun in the center of the earth. And feel yourself on this pole, fully grounded with your feet on the earth, connected to the solar life force within our earth, connecting to source itself, really embodying this feeling of being the pillar of light. And then as we inhale again, we'll just drop our awareness down to the heart for a moment. Breathing into the heart. Now that we're holding that vertical pillar of light, solar codes are streaming in. We want to counteract and balance this vertical pillar with the heart field, the lateral field. So as you inhale, you're seeing this field horizontally expanding from your body. It's a toroidal field. So as it moves out, it actually moves in the shape of an apple or a donut around your body. Inhaling, strengthening you on the horizontal plane. Calling in the earth's natural rhythm and heartbeat, attuning to her rhythm, a very grounded resonance to keep you here while you receive these codes. And just breathe into your heart a few times, expanding that field as wide as possible until you feel so anchored with your heart connected to the earth, anchored in her frequency. And she's saying, I got you. I'm holding you. Thank you for being here. Feeling stable and strong. You now feel that polar field from the sun coming in, strengthening you in that vertical plane. Crown chakra is open, receiving, and we're perfectly balanced, energized while at rest. Find the place where these two planes meet inside your body, maybe just below your heart. And begin to inhale into that place. Deepen your chin to your chest, again, going inward. Inhaling into this place that we call the present moment, the void, where everything is happening right now and all information is available. As we breathe into this place, we're going to ask that all illusions in our field be transformed into this beautiful golden solar light. You might see those things floating outside of you or even in your body, and just like these golden drops of light are raining down on you. Let these illusions, these knots or densities in your field and in your body simply turn into liquid light and drop like rain onto the earth. Sending it back to the earth. She knows what to do with it, transmuting it back into love. Just sit here for a moment and let this process take place. If you lose your stream of thought, just breathe back into that heart space. Breathe back into that cross section of presence. Hands over your heart, bowing your head to yourself and hearing the words, breathing them in. This is true knowing landing inside your heart forevermore. You are a child of the universe. You are worthy of receiving without any action needed. You are allowed to dissolve the illusions as soon as you're ready to let them go. You are allowed to decide when that moment is. If it's now, you can say, I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to become like a child again. I'm ready to remember and return to my inherent wholeness. I remember myself fully illuminated. I am perfect in my authentic expression. Okay. When you're ready, you'll slowly blink your eyes back. Take your time. Maybe just move out any spots that might feel tense in the body. Have some yawns. Energy is definitely moving. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for tuning in this month. I'll see you next time. And if you need me, I'm not that far away. So don't be afraid to reach out.